All right, we're going to talk today about two cool new programs. And the first one is a pilot program that Cornerstone Home Lending is doing with Fannie Mae. And what I love about this is a true grant. So it's a $7,500 grant. And when I say grant, that means that it is non-repayable, it is not interest-bearing, and it is not taking lien position on the title to the house. So, right? It's no lien position. No. Yeah. So, I mean, it's essentially, I don't want to say this, but it's kind of like free money. And there's no income limits on the program, which is another thing that's pretty typical for down payment assistance programs. So this is a down payment assistance grant, not a down payment assistance kind of lien or program, which is very typical. And it is a 3% down conventional loan, Fannie Mae conventional loan, which means that credit and, it still has to be approved through the automated underwriting system, et cetera. But there's something unique about this program, Tara, that's unlike any other grant or down payment assistance program that I've ever seen. Tell us about it.
Very backwards. So eligibility is based on where the buyer lives now, not where they're going to buy, where they live now. So you think about, like, obviously Fannie Mae is trying to, get people to move out of certain areas for whatever reason, right? Wouldn't you say, like, just to get them?
Well, actually, the program is trying to bring home ownership to certain census tracts across the country. So there's 21 census tracts that are participating in this pilot with us that are defined by Fannie Mae, not by Cornerstone. And what's exciting is in the Phoenix metro area, I won't say metro, so let's just call it the Phoenix area, there are some eligible areas. And again, to Tara's point, this is not about where the buyer is buying a home, which is generally what we see in some of these programs. This is all about where the buyer resides. And so we're going to take you to the Fannie Mae lookup engine, and anybody can look this out. And we want to show you what to look for to determine if that buyer might be eligible for the free $7,500 if they're using that Fannie Mae Home Ready program. So hang tight. So this is kind of what it looks like. So this is the Fannie Mae Area Median Income Lookup Tool. You can just Google it and it will come right up. And we just entered an address here to kind of show you, this is for the Phoenix area. But if you guys look at this little green box here, what you're looking for to determine if that buyer is eligible is this right here. So it must say under the special focus area, Home Ready First. And if it says Home Ready First, then that buyer may be eligible for that $7,500 grant. And that's it. They can buy anywhere they want in the country. There's no restriction on where they buy. It's just where they reside. Now, if we think about the areas that are eligible, and again, you have to kind of get in and start to play with the map. In the Phoenix metro area, we're seeing a lot that is available kind of in that Levine, El Mirage, Buckeye, kind of West Valley area. Definitely when you get down into the Pinal County areas, Casa Grande, Maricopa, some of those areas. But what's so interesting is I even found like this little pocket for Glendale. So it's like, it's not what you think.
Yeah, right. So,
Tara, anything else on this before I kind of move to the next version of an example?
No. Okay. Yeah, so just making sure you see Home Ready First. So Kelly's going to show you now another box that comes up that won't show it. So that's the key.
Yeah, so, okay. Tara, here's just another one. Again, just want to make sure you guys are focused on right here. Home Ready First means we are eligible and good to go. This one is, what is this, 40th Street and kind of the McDowell to Thomas area. So again, if you have buyers that currently reside there and are buying anywhere else in the country, they may be eligible for this program.
And just a reminder, those income limits you see do not apply for this program.
Yes.
So don't get all, muddled up by that. We're truly just looking in the green box for Home Ready First, knowing
crossing it out. Do not pay attention to the area median income because, again, this program, it does not apply like it does on other Fannie Mae programs or other down payment assistance programs. At least one of the borrowers have to be a first-time home buyer, though. So just to keep that in mind. All right. So here is an address that we entered that does not have Home Ready First under the special focus area, which means that if the buyer resides in this area or at this address, that they are not eligible for this particular down payment grant program, but could be eligible for others that we have access to.
Yep.
Okay. Good. All right. So anything else about the Home Ready First? Oh, yeah. We'll talk about it. This is some good stuff.
Yeah.
Go. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So primary residence only, no second homes, no invested properties. And obviously first-time home buyer, right? They're typically not purchasing a second home or investment. So the minimum down Kelly mentioned is 3%. They can put 5% down, 10% down, and the 7,500 can just go along with their own funds. And it can only be used towards down payment. No closing costs. So if your 3% down is less than 7,500, well, then they're just going to end up putting more down because it has to only go towards down payment.
And doesn't this program allow for a 5% seller credit towards closing costs, which is, again, unique to this grant? It's not the case on a standard conventional Fannie Mae loan. So 5% max. Also, there are no loan level pricing adjustments. Yes. What does that mean? And why do you care? That means better terms. That's just the easy way to say it, because all of those are waived on this program, and they're waived by Fannie Mae. So it's cool and exciting. And really, honestly, it's just getting the word out. So when you look at if you are interested and you want to know what census tracts are eligible across the country, there are 21 of them. But essentially, you can just go to that Fannie Mae lookup for the area that you might have a cousin or a friend or somebody in Georgia or Texas or whatever, and you want to know if they're eligible for it, be sure to check the Fannie Mae lookup tool. And we lend in 45 states across the country, so there's a good chance that we will be able to help you bring this product and these funds to buyers.
Yeah. Wait, one more thing. Sorry. Okay, reduced mortgage insurance is a big deal too. So definitely just from an affordability standpoint. And this is a limited time program. It expires October 31st. So buyers have to be under contract by October 31st to be eligible.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? It's like, almost summer. So it's going to be here before we know it. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, let's move into our second loan program that I'm so excited about. One of the things that keeps me still in the mortgage business and doing what I do here, and I know for you too, Tara, it's exciting to bring home ownership to people that really want to buy a home for their family and start to build net worth through real estate. And so this is a program that is unique for people that are here in our country that do not have Social Security numbers, but instead have that individual taxpayer identification number. So it's called an ITIN program, and it is not Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, VA, or USDA. All of those agency programs are not what we're going to talk about because they all require a Social Security number. So this program is specific to that audience. And again, when we just think about being able to bring homeownership to people, I think there's so many people out there think that they can't buy because they don't have a Social Security number, and that is just not the case. So Tara, fill us in on some of the details of how the loan program works.
Yeah. So you guys, it's going to be like, if you've been on our webinars before, it's going to be this outside of the box, right? Non-QM, just like Kelly said, agency. So it'll have some funky rules. Typically, people with ITIN have established credit. That's going to be an important piece to this program. Trade lines are a big deal. Down payment minimum is going to be about 15%, depending on where they fit. And sometimes minimum 20 to 25% is going to be required.
Based on credit score, really. So like 15% is like 700 credit score or higher. The way that the credit reports work on this program are completely different than traditional home loans. So just kind of know when we say nuances, there's a lot of differences about the program, but the program will truly allow for down to 600 credit score, assuming that all the other things fit in the box.
Right. All occupancy types. So it can be primary, secondary, or investment property. Can do 2 to 4 units, up to just over $1 million being able to be borrowed. So
You see.
crazy.
And then I also read that if somebody doesn't have a traditional kind of W-2 job, that bank statements can be used to drive income, especially important for our self-employed borrowers out there. So it's very cool. And again, just being able to open up conversations. And, I think that this is one thing that I don't like about the home loan process. And that is it feels like it's intimidating. It feels like I'm scared. I'm afraid to have the conversation many times is the feeling I get from, especially first-time home buyers or home buyers that feel like they can never buy a home. And I really just want to make sure that people understand that that's not the way that many lenders make it. And certainly for us, our priority is just to have a very casual 15-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And with that conversation, I mean, we're asking the right questions that we can help to build out. Wow, okay, let's take the next step. Based on this, it does sound like now could be the time. And if not, then we can give that hope and that, credit guidance or whatever it is that they need to be able to get on that journey to home ownership. And it's just breaking down barriers is what this is about. And that's truly why we do these webinars. And this is why, I do so much in social media, is just to really help people understand that there are people like us that just want to help. And truly, it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. And you don't have to go through that entire process in the first 30 seconds. And if you're talking with a lender that's the only option that they give you, it might not be the right lender, because a lot of times the fear is what holds people back from the conversation. So being able to break down that barrier and be open and understand that for some people going through some of these conversations and the whole pre-qualification process, yes, if they decide they want to proceed and they're ready to proceed, then they're going to have to fill out that application. And then, all of the information, the documentation is kind of stuff, but that's not where we have to start.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, there are so many times that before people even apply, they want to see numbers. They want to, send me their budget and Tara, what can I qualify for? If X, then, and Y. And so that is really helpful in getting people comfortable to start the application process. So again, it's a lot of work, but it really does help, like Kelly said, break down the barriers, help people understand so they're comfortable taking that next